I get the question a lot of times, well, Courtney, how can you start a new project? Like what keeps you from thinking that you may fail? And I laugh and I say, shoot, I didn't think I was gonna fail. Like, this is the whole point of me starting it.
Welcome to Come Back with Erica Cobb, a community of folks like yourselves who are getting ready and staying ready for their next chapter. Well, my guest today, I reached out to her over a year ago and I was like, sis, you have to come on my podcast. And she was like, whenever you're ready. And she's here. So she started with just $500 and has now amassed over $100 million in sales as the founder of The Main Choice and the founder and CEO of Olbali Corporation. Courtney Adeleye, welcome to Come Back with Erica Cobb. I get so excited when I see your products in the store, and especially because as someone who follows you, it means more. And you are so transparent with your followers. And when you brought up earlier that you bring your followers along, you're also very generous with us. You do fabulous giveaways. You do IG Lives where you're giving us pearls and words of wisdom. What made you make the decision that, as a lot of people, it's like, I'm a founder, I'm a CEO, I'm going to be behind the scenes, but you're very present. So what made you make that decision to continue to engage with your followers in that way?
I think it's, for me, growing The Main Choice, growing my company, I couldn't do that by myself. It's those consumers out there who believe in me, who believe in what I have. And if there's any opportunity I have to say thank you, the closest I could come to touching every single person that's out there, all I have to do is just do something. And I'm hoping that my gestures would be displayed as me saying, thank you for your support. Thank you. I know I couldn't have done this thing by myself. I understand you could have chose any brand, but you chose this brand. So I'm like, why not? And I think a lot of times, people put up this facade, you have to transform into something else after success. And I don't think so. If I can hop on and talk to you, I'm going to hop on and talk to you. If I can't and I don't have the time, I don't have the time. But to position it that way, that it's a way that you operate, I don't think so. I know what grew my company, and I know it's the people. It was very organic. It was very intentional, and I'm going to continue to do the same thing. You guys support me, I'm going to support you as much as I can, so just not forgetting where you come from, and this is where I started, and this is how I continue my journey.
Well, one of the things that I found really interesting was your stance on working with family. Can you explain more on that?
Yes, I feel like at the end of the day, I'm going to give anyone, and I say anyone who is qualified for that position and opportunity. I start there for one. And then, of course, you want to be realistic. We know we got those family members who can't get along with anyone. If you know these type of things, and at the end of the day, I always like to fall back on common sense. I think at the end of the day, if we use common sense in everything that we do, for the most part, you can't go wrong. You can't catch anything. But if you know you have a family member, they don't come on time, they talk any kind of way, do you think giving them a job is going to change that? And it's not. So I do have family that work with me, who's been there for years, since day one. I have family who has worked for me and I've terminated them. Then I have family member who I wouldn't dare hire, and I think it's the same thing with a stranger. You know what I mean? Like, if you treat everybody the same standards, like my niece and nephews that work for me, they know there's no special treatment as far as being here, going to the next level, things of that nature, expectations. And I think if you have those family members who can get the job done, I'll give you an opportunity.
Yeah, that's such a slippery slope, because
it is
trust. You're like, well, this is my blood. Of course, I want to start with my inner circle, but the idea of really just identifying not only the strengths, but also the characteristics of the people who might be wanting to come on board, because no one's going to take care of your baby like you're going to take care of it, but a person
nobody,
who has
stranger or family,
right? Well, there's one particular family member who you have just been leading by example for, the epitome of you. If you can see it, you can be it, and that is Miss Lily. So your daughter Lily, she's 6, right?
She's 6. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Oh my goodness! Happy birthday, Lily! Y'all, this is crazy. I mean, it's not crazy because we're talking to Courtney and this is just how she does things. But Miss Lily,
today is my birthday.
6, soon to be 7, is the founder of Lily Frilly. Now, you may have seen it in Target or Walmart, right? Mm-hmm. It's children's accessories, apparel, and backpacks. How did she introduce the idea of wanting to be an entrepreneur to you?
Oh, Lily is a self-starter. I would say Lily reminds me of myself as an adult, not as a kid. So how she thinks as I think today. But I think it's something that, again, I think it's in people. I really do. I think when it comes to kids, I think it's really hard to force them to do something, make them do something. Like, they're so transparent. Like, if they're having a bad day, you're going to know it. So God forbid if you try to give them a business to actually run and to showcase to the world, if they're not feeling it, you're just not. But she's seen at like a young age, the kids that's on YouTube. I remember she came to me and she said, "Mommy," she said, "I can do this." She said, "I can do that." And this was years ago. She's 6. This was like, 3 years ago? She's like 3 years old. I'm like, you can do this. But she understood the concept of doing something, displaying it with the world, being the best you can, and people actually engaging. Like, she understood what that meant. She would wake up in the middle of the night and like, "I got an idea. I have a name." And this is literally in the middle of the night. I'm like, "Lily, please go to sleep." Like, so it's like, it's just in her. Like, she makes logos all day. She's putting colors together. It's just, she watches me. Like, I have 3 kids. I can't say they're looking at me and I'm on here in the morning time, pouring into people. And she's just over there like, "So what did you say?" Now, when you said, I'm like, "Why are you even over here looking?" But it's just in her. It's just in her. I don't know what to say. It's a little scary.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful to see, especially for you guys to be a mother-daughter entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. It's really inspiring to so many people. And I think of, again, watching one of your interviews, and you talked about in saturated markets, mm-hmm. what makes your product stand out. Like, anyone can mimic your product, mm-hmm. but they can't mimic you. And it sounds like Lily is really putting herself into it. And I think that we can all learn something from that.
Exactly. And I think even having, children, I think it's just like an everyday world. So you have entrepreneurs, you have people who are entrepreneurs and they're the face of the brand. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're in the back end. So all of my children are active. Like, even with Lily Frilly, like, all of them are invested, actually literally have ownership in Lily Frilly. They're doing other jobs in the company. So I think the beauty of it is to say that's reality. Like, you may not be the face. You may not have a desire at all to be the face, but you really want to, be a part of something. So or really allow them to do what they want to do as far as that, but just really exposing entrepreneurship to them, as well as education, to say, like, you too can do some things if you want to, and show me how you could contribute to this particular brand. How can you contribute to this particular brand? So all of them are very involved, but again, it's just like anything else. Some people like to be in the front, some people not so much.
Right. Well, we know why Lily is in the front. Where can people find you on social media or follow you, or your websites? Give us all the information.
Yes, Olbali.com, CourtneyAdeleye.com, Courtney Adeleye on social media, Lily Frilly, you name it, Cool Coffee, Click, Pop, Nutritional. So we're doing it all, try to put everything on my platforms and be that lifestyle piece of the things that I work on to show you guys how it works, how it look, all that good stuff. Like I said, love engaging with my consumer. I feel like we in this thing together. We at different phases of our journey, but we're trying to achieve the exact same thing. So I believe to pouring into one another. So
I love it. I love to say observations are free, and Courtney is someone who is so generous with her testimony, so generous with her process, So y'all better get with it, okay? Come back, kids. For more on Courtney, go to my online home, comeback.tv, for the full podcast.